Okay, so today we're going to be talking about solving systems using elimination again. Just a reminder, there are two special cases. So if you end up solving your system, well, let's think about what a system of equations is. So again, systems are two lines on a graph, right? Your solution is where they intersect. So we're just solving this mathematically instead of with a graph. So if you solve it mathematically, there were two special cases that we had when we graphed it, right? It was the parallel lines, they never met, so that was a no solution, right? And we also had situations where they were the same line, which would have infinite solutions because it would share infinite points throughout that line. So when we're solving it mathematically, how we can tell is if you end up with the same number on each side, that after you've done it, everything, after you've eliminated both the variables and you're left with the same number on each side, that would be an infinite solution. If you're left with two different numbers on each side, that's a no solution. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward and easy, but let's go through and let's solve some of these. So this is on page 41, by the way. Um, let's look at number 3 to start off with. So all these problems you're doing today are very basic systems. They're going to be set up to where one of the variables will have the same number or the same coefficient, the same number in front of it. You need them to have the same number in order to cancel out, because that's our goal, is to get rid of one of the variables so that we can solve for the remaining variable. Because you can't solve anything as long as both variables are still there. With substitution, you substitute it into the equation to get rid of one of the variables. And elimination, you eliminate them by adding or subtracting to get rid of it. So if we look at number 3, you'll notice the x's have the same number in front. Now, they have different signs, but that's okay, because depending on what type of sign it is, if they're the same sign or different signs, tells you if you're going to add or subtract. If they're different signs, then to get them to cancel each other out, you would just add them together, right? 2 plus negative 2 is 0. Just the same as 4 plus negative 4 is 0. So these x's are going to cancel out, and you're going to be left with just 0. And then negative 6 plus 3 would be negative 3y. And then 22 plus negative 19 would be just 3. Okay? That gets rid of my x's, so now I have just negative 3y equals 3, right? So to get rid of the negative, or to solve for y, I would just divide by negative 3. And that would give me y is equal to negative 1. Okay? That is one of my answers. So in my ordered pair, I know the y coordinate is going to be negative 1. I need to figure out what the x coordinate is. So I'm going to take what y is equal to, and I'm going to plug it into, it doesn't matter which equation, but it's easier to just draw the arrow going to the top. So let's do the top. So I'm going to plug negative 1 into the y on that first equation. So I would have 4x minus 6 times negative 1 equals 22. Negative 6 times negative 1 would be positive 6, so I'd have 4x plus 6 equals 22. Then I would subtract the 6, give me 4x is equal to 16, and then divide by 4, and that gives me x is equal to 4. So my final solution would be 4 comma negative 1 in parentheses. Again, ordered pair, right? That would be my final solution. Okay, let's look at another example. So let's look down here at number 5. And we'll erase some of what I did there. So again, I'm looking for a variable that has the same number in front. So when I look at number 5, I'll notice the x's have the same number and the y's have the same number. So it doesn't matter which one I pick. I just need to pick one. So let's say I want the x's to cancel out. So both the x's are positive, so the same sign I subtract. Different signs I subtract, but if they're the same sign, different signs I add, same sign I subtract. So I'm going to minus everything on these two equations. 2x minus 2x is 0. AY minus AY is 0. And 0 minus 0 is 0. So I'm left with 0 equals 0. That's the same number on each side. The variables are both canceled out. So that tells me this is one of the special cases. Same number means it's going to be infinite solutions. Okay. And on Canvas, for your quiz, you would write the entire word infinite. And that would be your answer. And I think it might want you to put it in caps. I'm not sure on that. But definitely you're writing the whole word if you get an infinite solution. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at number 7 here. So number 7, looking at it, looks like the x's have the same coefficient. So I'm going to look at those. They have different signs here. So that means I'm going to add. I'm going to add my equations. Negative 3x plus 3x is 0. Negative ay plus negative 4y would be negative 12y. Negative 22 plus negative 2 would be negative 24. Okay, and then I would just have to divide by negative 12 to solve for the y. And that's going to give me y is equal to positive 2. So in my ordered pair, I know the y coordinate is going to be 2. So now that I know that, I'm going to take what y is equal to and plug it in. Again, doesn't matter which equation, you just pick one. I picked the top one, so I'm going to plug it in for y. So I'd have negative 3x minus 8 times 2 equals negative 22. So negative 8 times 2 would be negative 16 equals negative 22. So that's two-step, I'm going to add 16. Gives me negative 3x is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 3. And then we're going to get x is equal to 2. So 2 would be my solution there. So 2, 2 would be the final answer. Not too tough, right? Let's do one more. It's actually on page 42, but I don't have that for some reason. So I wrote it down right here. So zoom out a little bit so we got some space to work with. Okay. So let's move it to the left here. So again, I'm looking for two variables that have the same coefficient. So looking here, it looks like the x's have the same coefficient and the y's have the same coefficient of 1, right? So it doesn't matter which one I want to cancel out. I just pick one. Let's pick the x's. So if I want the x's to cancel out, they have different signs, so I'm going to add them together. So add negative 6 plus 6x is 0. Positive y plus negative y is 0. So both variables cancel out, telling me it's going to be one of my special cases. Negative 4 plus 0 is negative 4. Okay, so I'm left with 0 equals negative 4. 0 does not equal negative 4, right? So this is going to be something that no matter what I plug into those variables, they will never have the correct answer. So this is a no solution. No. That's what you write into Canvas. No. And that's your answer. Okay, not too tough, right? If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. I'm here to help. I want to help. Your teachers want to help. Just let us know and we will help you. So ask your questions, and I'll see you guys out there.